Okay, that's fine.
All right, cool. All right. So first question is, can you explain your profession?
Okay. The last, I guess, and most rewarding piece of my profession was financial services. I've been in the financial services industry for 42 years. I've done everything from running a bank to running the financial services division of a Fortune 500 insurance company.
Gotcha.
So everything in between. I was a registered securities principal, an insurance person. We also managed a team of people who worked with financial institutions all over the United States to facilitate the sale of insurance products, wholesale insurance products,
Gotcha.
Not retail, but insurance products on the wholesale level through financial institutions. So that when you go into the financial institutions and you meet with a financial advisor, my team worked with those people. So
Okay.
that's what I did.
Got you. What made you choose that profession?
That's a great question. When I got out of college, I didn't spend a lot of time planning. I didn't have a lot of people that were helping to advise me, and so I needed a job, and I went to work. Our family insurance agent said, "Look, if you don't have a job yet, you need to come to work for us." And I did. I went over there with him one day, and they hired me on the spot.
Got you.
And that was the start of my financial services career.
Okay. Were you interested in finances beforehand, or is it something you kind of just fell into?
It's money, Jordan. And I've been interested in money for forever, because when I was a kid, I never had any.
Gotcha.
So I was interested in how to acquire money and how to make it work for me.
Yeah, makes sense. What did you do to organize your time?
To organize my time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used a planner. If you don't plan your time, you're going to be lost. You get lost in the woods all the time.
Very
So you have to understand the tasks that you have at hand, prioritize them, and put the appropriate amount of time. And sometimes I was kidding with some guys last night at a dinner party,
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about how kind and gentle the employers are now, how you can't hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
Where you need something tomorrow morning on your desk and it's 5 o'clock, and you need the analyst to go to work and get the work done, but to do it and still go home and be with their families, but you got to have that work at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning on your desk. Okay, so
Sure.
you got to do. I didn't have that luxury of being able to be told, well, get this. I need it tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, but be sure you go home tonight. That wasn't the deal. Many a night I had to, 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I would go home after being at work continuously.
Yeah.
And take a shower, put on a fresh suit, and come back to work.
Wow.
People don't do that anymore.
True.
Some people do. I guess those who are in high-powered positions, they do that.
Yeah.
But you got deadlines. You got people that need what you
They need like your services.
They need what you can do.
Yeah.
The analyst work or whatever the work is that you're going to do for them done, so they can make a decision. And you can't hold the decisions up, because when the decisions are held up, money's lost.
True.
Money's lost. You can't do that. And if you can't hold up your end of the bargain, you won't be there long.
Yeah. What would you say were your strengths in your profession?
My ability to deal with people, my ability to kind of read people and to understand them, mm-hmm. and to be empathetic to them, to what they were going through.
Got you.
All the while demanding that they put those things aside that were bothering them and stopping them from getting the work done. Mm-hmm. Put those things aside and get the work done anyway.
Gotcha. Where do you think you developed those I guess, people skills?
You know, that's good. I think it's just a lifelong look at people. Growing up hard in the, you know, I didn't actually grow up in the ghetto. I grew up in the country.
Yeah.
We were very poor. And so having to get along with everybody, because everybody's important. You know, recognizing that every single person is important and is valued. I think that just learning that lesson, I think my mother and father instilled that in me. So I'm going to give credit for that to them. So just knowing that every person is important and valued, and that every person has a valid opinion and needs to be listened to. It may not be it may not be the best opinion, but it's because it's coming from somebody who's valid. The janitor.
True. The
janitor can save you millions of dollars. Maybe you just need to listen to what he's got to say. Treat him like a human being. Everybody's a human being. You know, one of my great bosses in the last company I worked for, John Barrett, he was CEO of the company, but he knew every janitor by name. He would walk around and talk to people.
Wow.
And you could tell him, hey, Mr. B, you know, such and such, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he would stand there and listen to you. And what you said struck his attention. One of his executives would get back with you and figure out what it was you were trying to do and fix whatever the problem was.
Wow.
That made him very successful, and it taught me a lot.
Yeah, that is good. What would you say were some of your weaknesses that you had to overcome?
The very thing you talked about in the very beginning, the time management piece.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a priority. It's a prioritization, because everything. When you say to me, "This is important. This is important. This is important," I've got to figure out which one is more important than the other.
Gotcha.
And there's only 24 hours in a day, and I do have to sleep sometime. So more that than anything, the prioritization.
Definitely, gotcha. What would you say helped you achieve your goals?
Believing in Christ. I mean, all things are possible through Christ. So if you believe that, you can attack your work knowing that everything that you're doing is possible and that you can complete it. And I believe that today, that everything I'm doing is possible and will be completed because he's with me and behind me.
Gotcha. And last question would be, what would you be doing if you were me?
If I was you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. As a young man, so that's a loaded question. So the question is, do I know everything that I know at 66? In your shoes, I would be making money and saving as much as I could. I would be finding a way to get out of the United States.
Really?
Oh my goodness. I mean, the United States is becoming more and more invasive. They are spending money that they don't have. Yeah. So if they're spending money that they don't have, whose money are they spending? Yours and mine.
That's true.
And so somebody's going to have to, they're handing out checks, and I understand those things are necessary. They're building roads and bridges and rebuilding everything, and they're $30 trillion in debt.
Wow. So
I just saw an order recently from the IRS to track money in anybody's account who has over $600 in their account. $600.
Wow.
So why would they want that? They want to know what you're doing and why you're spending your money. Where you're spending your money, how you're spending your money. I believe that's invasive. I believe it's overreach. And I don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe it's in relationship to the new Fed coin that's going to come out. They're going to introduce a Fed coin.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it. But I still think that's too much. You don't need to know what my bank account is going to do, who I'm paying with my money.
Definitely.
You don't need to know that, IRS. You don't need to know. I'm sorry, you just don't need to know that.
It's true.
And as a citizen, I am offended by that intrusion. So those are the kinds of things that tell me that maybe it's time to get my hat and coat and get out of here, because I'm not. I follow a guy that says go where you feel welcome.
Yeah.
So I'm beginning to feel unwelcome here.
Makes sense. So it would be just pretty much leaving the U.S. would be like the first step.
Yeah, I mean,
potentially.
If you think about it, the U.S. is not the best place to live. It's not the wealthiest country. It's not the safest country. It's not you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
it's not the land of opportunity that it used to be, because everybody is flooding in here. If everybody's flooding in here, there may be someplace else where people are not flooding. That is the land of opportunity. That is,
has a lot of potential.
Where I can take my little income in my retirement and live on a quarter of it instead of all of it.
Sure. That makes sense. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me for this meeting. And that was pretty much it. I'll wrap it.